1 million voters, one brutal verdict, one name at the very top that nobody in Hollywood wants to talk about publicly, but everyone's been thinking privately. Meghan Markle just got crowned the most disliked celebrity of 2025, and the internet is on fire. The Ranker poll results dropped like a bomb, and the fallout is absolutely explosive. Over 1 million people cast their votes, and when the dust settled, the Duchess of Sussex claimed the #1 spot on a list nobody wants to win. Not second place, not third, #1, the most disliked celebrity in the entire world right now. And here's the kicker that's making this even more devastating for Meghan's carefully constructed image. She didn't just beat random celebrities or fading stars. Meghan Markle outranked Diddy, who landed at #2 despite currently facing some of the most serious allegations in entertainment history. She beat Prince Harry himself, who came in at #3. Let that sink in for a moment. The woman who constantly claims she's misunderstood and unfairly targeted just got voted more disliked than her own husband by over 1 million people worldwide. The public literally chose her over him as the more insufferable half of the Sussex duo. The names trailing behind Meghan read like a who's who of genuine controversy. Oprah Winfrey at #4, Ellen DeGeneres at #5, Jada Pinkett Smith at #6, Amber Heard at 7, Bill Cosby at 9. These are people connected to documented scandals, workplace toxicity allegations, legal battles, and criminal convictions. Yet somehow Meghan managed to be more disliked than all of them combined. This wasn't some fringe online poll with a few hundred angry votes. Over 1 million people from around the globe participated in this ranking, making it one of the most comprehensive public opinion snapshots of the year. Sources speculate the results started trending within hours of release, and social media absolutely exploded with reactions. Some users expressed shock that she actually topped the list. Others admitted they'd been predicting this exact outcome since the Oprah interview back in 2021. Insiders claim the poll results hit the Sussex camp like a freight train. Word around Hollywood suggests Meghan's team immediately went into crisis mode, desperately trying to figure out damage control strategies. Rumor has it urgent calls were made, emergency meetings were scheduled, and panic set in at the Montecito mansion when they realized just how devastating this public rejection truly is. Because here's what makes this absolutely catastrophic for Meghan. This isn't trolls, this isn't haters, this is over 1 million real people delivering a verdict that cannot be ignored, spun, or explained away. The world has spoken with one unified voice, and the message couldn't be clearer. Meghan Markle's reign as Hollywood's favorite duchess is officially over. Let's break down exactly how brutal these rankings really are, because when you look at the full list, the picture gets even more damning for Meghan. This wasn't a close race. This wasn't a narrow margin. She dominated the most disliked category in a way that should terrify anyone trying to maintain a public career. Diddy came in second place, and we're talking about someone currently facing allegations that have rocked the entire entertainment industry. Legal troubles, serious accusations, career implosion. Yet even with all of that swirling around him, over 1 million voters still found Meghan Markle more insufferable. That's not just a ranking, that's a cultural statement about how far her reputation has fallen. Prince Harry landed at #3, which tells you everything about how the public views their toxic dynamic. The once beloved prince, the cheeky royal who won hearts worldwide, now sits in the top 3 most disliked celebrities. Palace insiders whisper that his placement is seen as collateral damage from his association with Meghan. The boy who grew up in the spotlight, who served his country, who was genuinely adored, has been completely transformed in the public eye. And sources close to royal circles suggest they blame one person entirely for that transformation. Then there's Oprah at #4. The woman who gave Meghan that infamous platform to air her grievances against the royal family now finds herself ranking just behind the Sussexes. Some commentators are calling it poetic justice. Others suggest Oprah's association with Meghan's victim narrative damaged her own credibility beyond repair. Either way, the media mogul who built an empire on authenticity is now linked forever to what many see as the most calculated interview in modern television history. Ellen DeGeneres at 5, Jada Pinkett Smith at 6, Amber Heard at 7. These are women who faced genuine workplace toxicity allegations, public relationship drama, and courtroom battles that dominated headlines for months. Ellen's show ended amid reports of a toxic work environment. Jada's entanglement confession became a cultural punchline. Amber's defamation trial played out like a real-time nightmare, yet Meghan still ranks above all of them in public disdain. Bill Cosby sits at #9, a man with criminal convictions. James Charles at #10, who faced serious allegations about inappropriate behavior. Chris Brown at 11, whose past violence is well documented. The fact that Meghan Markle is ranked more disliked than people with actual criminal records or documented abusive behavior should be a massive wake-up call. But sources suggest she's more focused on blaming the public for misunderstanding her than actually reflecting on why this happened. Industry insiders claim these numbers represent something deeper than just a popularity contest. This is the entertainment world and the general public officially rejecting everything Meghan represents. The constant victimhood, the calculated PR moves, the endless complaining while living in luxury, the hypocritical preaching about privacy while doing tell-all interviews. Over 1 million people looked at all of that and said enough is enough. And the most terrifying part for Meghan? These numbers don't lie, and they can't be spun away. Rewind to May 19, 2018. The world watched a stunning American actress walk down the aisle at Windsor Castle, marrying Prince Harry in what looked like the ultimate fairy tale. Millions of people tuned in, enchanted by the idea of a biracial divorcee becoming British royalty. Meghan Markle was positioned as the modern face of the monarchy, the woman who would revolutionize centuries of tradition. Fast forward to 2025, and she's the most disliked celebrity on the planet. So what on earth happened between that magical wedding day and this absolute disaster? The cracks started showing almost immediately, though most people didn't want to see them at first. Reports began surfacing about staff members leaving Kensington Palace in tears. Rumors swirled about Meghan's demanding behavior, her 5 a.m. emails, her alleged treatment of royal family members. Palace insiders whispered about bridesmaid dress fittings that ended badly, about tiara tantrums, about a woman who seemed more interested in celebrity status than royal duty. But Meghan's team quickly spun every single story as racist attacks from the British press. Then came the Oprah interview in March 2021. And that's when public opinion started its dramatic shift. Meghan sat there heavily pregnant, making explosive allegations about racist comments from unnamed royal family members, about being denied mental health support, about feeling trapped and suicidal. The interview was designed to position her as the ultimate victim of a cold, uncaring institution. But sources suggest the plan backfired spectacularly. Instead of universal sympathy, many viewers started questioning inconsistencies in her story. The timeline didn't add up. The details kept changing, and the refusal to name names while making serious accusations felt calculated rather than courageous. The Netflix deal came next, promising intimate behind-the-scenes access to their lives while simultaneously demanding privacy from the media. The documentary dropped, and it was 6 hours of grievances, complaints, and carefully staged moments that felt more like a PR campaign than authentic storytelling. Industry insiders claim the public started seeing through the performance at that point. Here were two people living in a multi-million-dollar mansion, signing massive entertainment deals, while complaining endlessly about how difficult their privileged lives had become. Harry's memoir Spare pushed things even further into uncomfortable territory. Intimate family details exposed, private conversations shared, bridges burned publicly and permanently. Word on the street suggests that's when even Meghan's defenders started backing away, because it became impossible to maintain the privacy narrative while simultaneously monetizing every single aspect of their royal connections. Each move was supposed to build sympathy and rebuild their brand. Instead, each calculated step dug the hole deeper. The constant victimhood while living in luxury, the preaching about climate change while taking private jets, the demanding privacy while doing tell-all interviews. Sources close to Hollywood circles reveal that behind closed doors, industry executives started viewing the Sussexes as toxic, and the public clearly agreed. 1 million voters just confirmed what everyone's been thinking privately for years. Meghan Markle's transformation from promising duchess to most disliked celebrity was entirely self-inflicted. Hollywood runs on relationships, likability, and reputation. And rumor has it, Meghan Markle has absolutely torched all three. Behind the carefully crafted Instagram posts and glossy PR statements, sources close to the entertainment industry paint a very different picture of how she's viewed by the people who actually matter in show business. The whispers started circulating almost immediately after she and Harry moved to California. Insiders claim Meghan expected to be welcomed back to Hollywood with open arms, treated like royalty both literally and figuratively. Instead, she allegedly discovered that A-list celebrities were far less interested in befriending her than she anticipated. Word around town suggests that several high-profile figures actively avoided being photographed with her, worried about the toxic association damaging their own brands. Reports have surfaced about difficult behavior during meetings with production companies and streaming platforms. Sources speculate she arrives with impossibly long lists of demands, insists on creative control beyond what her experience warrants, and allegedly struggles to accept that her royal title doesn't automatically translate to entertainment industry credibility. One insider supposedly described working with her as exhausting, claiming every conversation becomes about her grievances rather than the actual project at hand. Then there's the friend factor, and this is where things get really telling. Remember all those celebrity friendships Meghan showcased early in her relationship with Harry? Serena Williams, Priyanka Chopra, the Clooneys, Oprah herself. Industry observers noticed those connections seemed to cool significantly over time. Photos together became rare. Public support statements dried up. Sources suggest several of her former friends quietly distanced themselves after witnessing behavior they found off-putting. The most damning rumors involve which celebrities might have actually voted in that ranker poll. Hollywood insiders are whispering that some of her former industry connections may have been among the 1 million voters who crowned her most disliked. The speculation is absolutely wild right now. Did former co-stars participate? What about executives she pitched projects to? The beauty of an anonymous poll is that anyone could have voted, and sources suggest plenty of entertainment industry professionals likely did. Behind closed doors, entertainment executives reportedly view the Sussex brand as box office poison. One producer allegedly said working with Meghan comes with too much baggage and not enough benefit. Another claimed her reputation for being difficult outweighs any potential star power she might bring to a project. The brutal truth that Hollywood won't say publicly but everyone knows privately: Meghan burned bridges she didn't even know she'd need later. She allegedly ghosted people who could have been valuable allies. She reportedly treated staff poorly when she thought nobody important was watching. And now, with that ranker poll confirming what industry insiders have whispered for years, her Hollywood comeback looks more impossible than ever. Prince Harry at number 3. Let that truly sink in for a moment. The man who once was Britain's most beloved royal, the cheeky prince who won hearts worldwide with his charm and military service, now ranks as the third most disliked celebrity of 2025. And sources close to royal observers suggest there's one person they're blaming for this catastrophic fall from grace. The transformation has been absolutely staggering to witness. This is the same Harry who walked behind his mother's coffin as the world wept. The same Harry who served 2 tours in Afghanistan, who founded the Invictus Games for wounded veterans, who was genuinely adored by millions. Flash forward to today, and over 1 million people just voted him onto a list dominated by alleged criminals and genuinely controversial figures. The question everyone's asking is simple: how did we get here? Palace insiders whisper that Harry's placement on this list is seen as collateral damage from his association with Meghan. Before her, he was the fun-loving prince, the one who made mistakes but always seemed genuinely likable. After her, he became bitter, resentful, and completely estranged from his family. Sources suggest people close to the royal family view Meghan as the puppet master who transformed Harry from beloved prince to Hollywood exile, who constantly complains about his privilege. The public seems to agree with that assessment based on the poll results. Harry ranks right behind Meghan and Diddy, but industry observers note something fascinating about the comments sections across social media. While Meghan gets outright hatred, Harry gets something arguably worse: pity mixed with disappointment. People aren't angry at Harry the same way they're angry at Meghan. They're sad about what he's become. They mourn the loss of the prince they once adored. Word on the street suggests Harry's biggest crime in the public eye isn't what he's done, but rather what he's allowed to happen. The endless interviews trashing his family, the memoir exposing private conversations, the constant victimhood narrative while living in massive wealth. Sources claim the public sees a man who's been completely manipulated, who traded his heritage and family relationships for a woman who seems to make him progressively more miserable. Royal commentators have noted that in every joint appearance, Harry looks increasingly uncomfortable while Meghan dominates the conversation. Body language experts have analyzed footage suggesting he often appears tense, controlled, and far from the relaxed person he was before marriage. Rumor has it that even some of their Montecito neighbors have observed Harry seeming isolated and withdrawn when spotted without Meghan. The most brutal aspect of Harry's number 3 ranking? It confirms what palace insiders have supposedly been saying privately for years. The British public would welcome Harry back with open arms if he came alone. They'd forgive the interviews, overlook the memoir, and embrace the prodigal prince returning home. But with Meghan, that door is permanently sealed shut, and these poll results suggest the rest of the world feels exactly the same way. Harry's tied to the most disliked celebrity on the planet, and his own ranking proves that association is destroying whatever goodwill he had left. The real shock of this ranker poll isn't just that Meghan topped the list, it's who she beat to get there. When you actually look at the names trailing behind her, the results become even more devastating, because we're talking about people dealing with genuinely serious controversies, legal battles, and documented scandals. Yet somehow, Meghan Markle is considered more dislikable than all of them. Blake Lively came in at number 20, and she's currently drowning in one of the most explosive Hollywood scandals of the year. Allegations of difficult behavior on set, legal battles with her co-star, accusations flying in both directions. It's messy, it's ugly, and it's dominating entertainment news. But even with all that chaos, Blake still ranks 19 spots below Meghan. Sources suggest that tells you everything about how the public views the Duchess of Sussex compared to an actress dealing with a temporary career crisis. Oprah Winfrey at number 4 is particularly poetic. The woman who gave Meghan that massive platform to air her royal family grievances now finds herself ranking just one spot behind Prince Harry. Industry insiders whisper that Oprah's association with that interview damaged her credibility in ways she never anticipated. The public seems to view her as complicit in Meghan's victim narrative, and rumor has it that interview will be remembered as one of the biggest mistakes of Oprah's legendary career. Ellen DeGeneres at 5 and Jada Pinkett Smith at 6 both face their own public relations nightmares. Ellen's show ended amid workplace toxicity allegations from former staff members. Jada's relationship revelations became cultural punchlines. Yet both of them still rank below Meghan, suggesting the public finds constant royal complaining more insufferable than actual workplace issues or awkward relationship confessions. Then there's Amber Heard at number 7, and this comparison is absolutely wild. Amber went through one of the most watched defamation trials in recent history. Her reputation was shredded in real time as millions watched testimony unfold. Career destroyed, credibility demolished, public humiliation on a global scale, and she still ranks 6 spots below Meghan Markle. Let that reality settle in for a moment. Bill Cosby sits at number 9 with actual criminal convictions on his record. Chris Brown at 11 has well-documented past violence. James Charles at 10 faced serious allegations about inappropriate behavior. These are people whose controversies involve law enforcement, courtrooms, and genuine victims. Yet over 1 million voters decided that Meghan Markle's constant victimhood, her calculated PR moves, and her relentless complaining while living in luxury are somehow more offensive than actual criminal behavior. Sources close to Hollywood PR firms suggest these comparisons are being discussed extensively behind closed doors. Because what this poll reveals is something unprecedented. The public has decided that Meghan's particular brand of insufferable entitlement is worse than scandals, worse than legal troubles, worse than documented bad behavior. She's not just disliked, she's more disliked than people who've actually done legitimately terrible things. And that's a level of public rejection that most celebrities never experience in their entire careers. Meghan achieved it in less than 7 years. The moment those ranker poll results dropped, social media absolutely exploded. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, every platform lit up with reactions ranging from shocked disbelief to smug satisfaction. Within hours, multiple hashtags were trending worldwide, and the commentary coming from every corner of the internet was absolutely ruthless. Twitter became ground zero for the most savage takes. Users were posting screenshots of the rankings with captions like, "1 million people can't be wrong," and finally some good news. The quotes and retweets were flying faster than anyone could keep up with. Sources suggest several verified accounts from entertainment journalists and royal commentators shared the results, many adding their own barely concealed agreement with the public verdict. The pile-on was swift, merciless, and utterly relentless. TikTok creators jumped on the trend immediately, producing reaction videos that racked up millions of views within the first 24 hours. Some acted out exaggerated shock at the results. Others created side-by-side comparisons of Meghan versus the other celebrities on the list, pointing out the absurdity that she beat people with actual criminal records. One particularly viral video allegedly showed someone scrolling through the entire ranker list with increasingly dramatic reactions as they got closer to the number 1 spot. The comment sections were absolutely savage, with users sharing their own stories about why they can't stand Meghan. Instagram was flooded with memes faster than Meghan's PR team could possibly respond. One popular meme format showed Meghan holding her various awards and accolades with the caption, "But the only award that really matters." Another showed a fake acceptance speech for most disliked celebrity written in Meghan's dramatic interview style. Sources suggest these memes were being shared across private group chats and public pages alike, with even people who normally stay out of royal drama admitting they found the whole situation darkly hilarious. Facebook's older demographic chimed in with their own takes, and rumor has it their commentary was even harsher than the younger platforms. Users who remembered the fairy tale wedding were expressing disappointment about how drastically things changed. Others were sharing articles about the poll results with comments like "about time" and "we've been saying this for years." The discussion threads allegedly ran thousands of comments deep, with very few people defending Meghan. Even neutral observers who typically avoid celebrity gossip were weighing in. Industry insiders noticed that people who'd never commented on the Sussexes before suddenly felt comfortable expressing their true feelings, now that over 1 million voters had validated those opinions. It was as if the poll results gave everyone permission to finally say out loud what they'd been thinking privately. The viral momentum showed no signs of slowing down either. Days after the initial results dropped, the conversation was still dominating timelines. New angles kept emerging, fresh takes kept getting posted, and the general consensus remained brutally consistent. Sources suggest Meghan's team has been working overtime trying to shift the narrative, but when you're facing a tidal wave of public rejection this massive, there's simply nowhere to hide. The internet has spoken, and they made sure absolutely everyone heard them loud and clear. Here's where things get really interesting from a business perspective. Meghan and Harry have built their entire post-royal existence on brand deals, streaming contracts, and monetizing their royal connections. But when over 1 million people vote you the most disliked celebrity of the year, that brand becomes absolutely toxic. And sources close to Hollywood executives suggest the fallout from these poll results could be catastrophic for their financial future. Netflix has already been reportedly reconsidering their relationship with the Sussexes. The documentary underperformed expectations, the Polo series barely made a ripple, and rumor has it executives were already questioning whether the Sussex brand was worth the massive investment. These poll results allegedly provided the final confirmation that audiences simply don't want Meghan and Harry content. Industry insiders whisper that conversations about not renewing their contract have intensified significantly since the rankings went viral. Spotify already cut ties after Meghan's podcast failed to deliver the numbers they expected. Word on the street suggests other streaming platforms and production companies took note of that failure. Now, with concrete evidence that Meghan is the most disliked celebrity worldwide, sources claim potential partners are running in the opposite direction. Nobody wants to attach their brand to someone who inspires this level of public rejection. The book deals present another problem entirely. Harry's memoir Spare sold well initially, but was heavily discounted almost immediately, suggesting the real demand wasn't as strong as publishers hoped. Meghan has been supposedly shopping around her own memoir, but insiders claim these poll results just made that book virtually unsellable at the price point they were demanding. Publishers allegedly see this as confirmation that whatever curiosity existed about Meghan's story has transformed into active dislike. Commercial endorsements have completely dried up, and sources suggest that's not changing anytime soon. Major brands want celebrities who inspire aspiration and positive associations. Meghan now represents constant complaining, family drama, and someone over 1 million people actively dislike. Marketing executives allegedly joke privately that featuring Meghan in an ad campaign would be more likely to tank sales than boost them. Their lifestyle brand attempts have been equally disastrous. American Riviera Orchard launched with massive fanfare, but sources suggest it's been struggling to gain any real traction. Rumor has it retailers are hesitant to stock products associated with the Sussex name after seeing these poll results. Because why would stores risk shelf space on products from the most disliked celebrity when consumer rejection seems virtually guaranteed? The speaking engagement circuit has also reportedly gone cold. Universities and corporations that might have paid six figures for Meghan to deliver inspirational speeches are allegedly reconsidering whether her presence would inspire audiences or alienate them. Event planners supposedly worry that booking Meghan could lead to protests, boycotts, and negative press that overshadows whatever message the event was trying to convey. Bottom line, the Sussex brand is in free fall, and these poll results just accelerated the crash. Industry experts suggest Meghan and Harry are rapidly approaching a point where their royal connections become worthless because the public rejection is so overwhelming. And that's terrifying for two people who've built their entire financial future on monetizing a title that millions now associate with insufferable entitlement. Behind the gilded gates of Buckingham Palace, sources suggest there's been a very interesting reaction to Meghan's crowning achievement as most disliked celebrity of 2025. While official royal channels would never publicly comment on something like a ranker poll, insiders whisper that privately, certain members of the royal family feel thoroughly vindicated by these results. King Charles has maintained dignified silence throughout years of Sussex attacks, but palace insiders claim the poll results confirmed what he's believed all along. The public saw through Meghan's victim narrative. They recognized the manipulation. They understood that the royal family wasn't the villain in this story. Sources close to Buckingham Palace suggest Charles views these rankings as the court of public opinion delivering the verdict he could never express himself. Prince William's reaction has allegedly been even more satisfying for those close to him. He's endured years of watching his brother trash their family publicly, sat through that Oprah interview making thinly veiled accusations, and read Harry's memoir exposing private family moments. Royal commentators claim William has remained silent, not because he agrees with the Sussex narrative, but because he knew eventually the truth would emerge. These poll results supposedly represent that truth finally breaking through. Kate Middleton's silence throughout this entire Sussex saga has been particularly telling, and sources suggest it's been absolutely strategic. While Meghan gave explosive interviews and made dramatic accusations, Kate simply continued her royal duties with grace and dignity. The contrast couldn't be more stark. And rumor has it, Kate's approach has now been completely vindicated by public opinion. One woman constantly complaining about her privilege ranked most disliked, the other quietly serving and genuinely beloved. The public made their choice crystal clear. Palace staff who allegedly endured difficult treatment from Meghan during her brief time as a working royal are supposedly feeling vindicated as well. For years, their concerns were dismissed as gossip or blamed on racism. Now over 1 million people have essentially confirmed what those staff members experienced. Sources claim several former palace employees privately expressed relief that the public finally sees what they witnessed behind closed doors. The timing of these results is particularly significant for the royal family's reputation. For years, Meghan and Harry's PR machine worked overtime painting the monarchy as racist, cold, and outdated. They positioned themselves as the progressive victims escaping an oppressive institution. But these poll results flip that entire narrative. The public doesn't see Meghan as a victim. They see her as the most disliked celebrity on the planet. And by extension, the royal family emerges looking far more reasonable than the Sussexes ever wanted to admit. Royal insiders whisper that there's been quiet satisfaction within palace walls, knowing that they never had to publicly defend themselves. They simply maintained dignity while Meghan and Harry self-destructed through their own actions and words. The monarchy outlasted yet another crisis by doing what it does best: staying silent, staying steady, and trusting that eventually truth prevails. And according to sources close to senior royals, these poll results prove they were right to trust that approach. The public delivered the verdict the palace never could. 1 million voters just told the world exactly who the real problem was all along. So here's the million-dollar question that everyone's asking right now. Where does Meghan Markle go from here? When over 1 million people vote you the most disliked celebrity of 2025, when you've beaten alleged criminals and documented abuse and public disdain, when your brand is officially toxic and your reputation is in absolute ruins, what's the next move? Sources close to crisis PR experts suggest Meghan essentially has 3 options, and none of them are particularly appealing. Option 1 is the apology tour. Full acknowledgement of mistakes, genuine humility, stepping back from the spotlight to rebuild credibility through actual charitable work, rather than staged photo opportunities. But insiders claim this option requires a level of self-awareness and willingness to accept responsibility that Meghan has never demonstrated. The woman who blamed everyone else for years would need to look in the mirror and admit she was the problem all along. Option 2 is doubling down. Lean even harder into the victim narrative. Claim the poll results prove how persecuted she is. Argue that 1 million voters are all wrong and she's still the misunderstood heroine of this story. Industry observers suggest this approach would be absolutely catastrophic. It would confirm everything the public already believes about her inability to accept criticism or take accountability. But rumor has it, this might actually be the path Meghan chooses because it's consistent with her established pattern of behavior. Option 3 is complete reinvention. Disappear from public life for several years, let the heat die down, and attempt a comeback when public memory has faded. Sources suggest this is probably the smartest strategic move, but it requires patience and the ability to live without constant attention. And based on Meghan's track record of needing to control her narrative and stay relevant, insiders doubt she has the discipline to actually stay quiet long enough for this approach to work. The brutal reality is that Meghan's path forward looks increasingly impossible, no matter which option she chooses. Hollywood doesn't want her. The public actively dislikes her. The royal family has moved on without her. Her commercial value is plummeting, and these poll results will follow her forever, a permanent reminder of just how spectacularly her carefully constructed image collapsed. Palace observers predict 2025 will be the year the Sussex brand finally dies completely. The deals will dry up, the media attention will shift from interest to mockery, and Harry will face an impossible choice between the woman who destroyed his reputation and the family he abandoned. Sources whisper that Harry's own number 3 ranking might be the wake-up call that finally breaks through years of manipulation. As for Meghan herself, insiders claim she'll likely continue blaming everyone else for her failures. The media, the monarchy, the public, anyone except herself. She'll probably give more interviews claiming victimhood, write that memoir positioning herself as misunderstood, and keep trying to monetize her royal connection until literally nobody is listening anymore. But here's what everyone knows and nobody can ignore. Over 1 million people just delivered their verdict. The most disliked celebrity of 2025. That's Meghan Markle's legacy now, and no amount of PR spin can ever erase it. So what do you think? Can Meghan ever recover from this level of public rejection? Or is her reputation permanently destroyed? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stay tuned because trust me, the Sussex drama is far from over. The next video is waiting, and you absolutely won't believe what's coming next.